Hello everyone, welcome back to another Doctor Who Big Finish review. First one in quite a while, I do apologise for that. This one will not be a very long one, and I've not even written down any notes, mainly because I am extremely busy right now, but I wanted to fit one in, especially as I really enjoyed this one. So, yeah, as of today, we got the next episode, I think it was the midway mark of the Ninth Doctor Adventures series with him and Rose at Big Finish, and we got 13 o'clock, and I'm not going to lie, they've cut it fine. They've released it on the 29th of June, and obviously we've not known when in June it was going to come out, so, I'm glad they were able to, because it had been April, I think, since the last one. And that means I think we'll get the next story in August. I don't think they've announced the next story at the time of recording this. That's always the case, though. The worst part is every time I finish recording, or like a couple hours later, they will announce it. Not all the time, but sometimes. So it's annoying, but what can you do? Yeah, so this is actually a sequel story, and thankfully I did listen to the original, so I do understand what it's meant to be referencing. And that is a story called Station to Station, I believe. That was quite an early box set, released in May 2022, would you believe it? So yeah, I didn't write any notes, mainly because I don't really know what to say about, bits of the story I liked. I did like the way that Rose reacted to Saffron at the very start, because I did think, oh, okay, if it's another companion type thing, even though she wasn't, but, just meeting someone that the Doctor knew, and especially as it being a woman, a young woman, Rose is obviously going to get a certain idea in her head, even though I'm pretty sure once she found out, she was engaged to a woman, she was like, oh, okay then, maybe I shouldn't be so threatened by your presence. But I liked that, because obviously it, calls to what her reaction to Sarah Jane will be like in the future. So yeah, I did like that little interaction, and yeah, it was a very niche story to make a sequel to. Obviously, not everyone's really going to get it, but I guess it's kind of smart because it means, I'm sure you can enjoy it without. Well, the problem is it does kind of spoil quite heavily the actual original story, because it quite literally states how it was defeated beforehand. So I don't know if that would maybe put people off, because it is quite expensive now to go back and buy that box set. Although I believe, again, at the time of recording this and publishing this, they have put a Ninth Doctor sale on at Big Finish. Maybe that box set is included. And to be honest, I think what Big Finish should do, and what a lot of people have been wanting them to do, is, release the stories separately, akin to what they did with the 10th Doctor Adventures towards the start. And by separately, I mean, you can still have them on CD if there was stock available, but just release them individually for the first few volumes, so people don't have to buy the entire box set just to listen to a certain story, But I doubt they're gonna do that, but one can hope. So yeah, overall, I'm gonna give the story a 9 out of 10. I didn't think it was perfect. I think they were kind of cutting it fine to actually wrap it all up, and I'll admit I kind of didn't see a point to this story. I don't really get why they did a sequel of it. Basically, just explains that, oh yes, the Griminy Gru was the reason that all the things were happening in the Powerless State, and that is kind of a spoiler. But again, I don't know. I won't title this one a spoiler-free review because it is kind of spoilery. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's worthy of a 9, but it's not quite perfect. But I did enjoy it a lot more than the last one. To do my current ranking of them all now, as I do for all these reviews, I tend to go through all the stories that we've got so far and just do them. And I think, are we now in 5 or 6? 6, yeah, top 6. So from 1 to 6, I'd probably put Last Days of the Powerless State as 6, Pandemonium as 5th, Snare as 4th, Dare You as 3rd, 13 o'clock as 2nd, and Cloud 8 as 1. I still think Cloud 8 is my favourite of the series, and ironically it's the only one that's not set on the Powerless State. So now I assume we are going to move away from all that. I do look forward, and I am interested to see what they will do next and where they will take it next. I don't know if it's 13 episodes or 12, but regardless, we've still got 6 or, well, you know how many more, I'm not saying it, still a bit too fresh. We've got that many stories left, so I will be interested to see how they will do it and wrap it all up. Be a shame when it does end, but we've still got quite a while yet. And speaking of endings, if you are only here for the review, you can, leave the video now, that's fine. I will try not to go on for too much longer so I don't confuse the YouTube algorithm. Torchwood. The monthly range finished. It was really sad. I was quite emotional about listening to Farewell. I did really fucking enjoy it. Sorry for swearing, but I did really enjoy it. And I may or may not do a review on it. I don't know if anyone else has. If no one else has, then I will be the person to, because it deserves to be spoke about. But I don't want to do that in this video. I'd rather give it its own video, because it definitely deserves that. But I'm equally aware that not that many people will listen to it and watch it. So, it's the thing of, what do I do, But yeah, Farewell, really good. And we have now got Torchwood Legacy announced. I think it's split into like maybe 2 box sets, but I don't think they're doing a CD release or a physical release of any sort, which sucks ass. Please, Big Finish, sort it out. There is the demand for it. And if it's the last thing you're ever going to do for Torchwood, if it's a special release, then why not give it a physical, a box set? It doesn't even have to be any more than like your standard, 2-disc one. It doesn't have to be like the massive fat 4-disc ones that they used to release. Like, I don't know, that kind of gets me down, and to be fair, I don't think I've seen anyone who hasn't really complained about that. So maybe old Nick Briggs or whoever's really in charge of it. I mean, I assume the decisions do technically go through him and Jason. Maybe they'll take into account people's outcry for a physical release. Like, I understand it's money, I do, but Big Finish, you can't tell me they're not making quite a lot of it at the moment. So yeah. Anyways, that's it for this video. I apologise. I know it's a bit rambly. I've only really just listened to the story. I didn't have time to take notes because I've got so much to do. So I thought, screw it, I'll just do it in a rambly style. Thankfully, it's not been a 10-minute video, which these sometimes can be. And regardless, I hope you enjoyed. I don't know, I hope I sound okay. I'm recording this in a new little recording studio that I have made, although admittedly the heatwave has kind of destroyed it a bit. It's going to need some repairs, but regardless, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I will be back on the channel soon, but until then, content will be uploaded, just not Doctor Who related and not from me. It'll be all Hell of a Boss related by my friend James, who I run this channel with, and hopefully, we might do some stuff together again at some point as well, because it's I'm aware it's very separate, and like the channel is kind of split into 2 at the moment. But yeah, regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you all in the next one.